Welcome to the Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast, bringing you the country's top podcast on the subject of internet marketing. I'm your host, Glenn Thayer, and we're going to review a few websites today that are e-commerce related. I'm here with the CEO of Intuitive Websites, Thomas Young, and internet marketing guru, Dennis McCarthy. How's it going, guys? Well, we've got two websites we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at victoriassecret.com, which I think is pretty much every guy's favorite site, and amazon.com. So let's start with victoriassecret.com. Let's go in there and let's look at the reasons for the websites. I think the reasons are pretty clear for both of these. It's obviously e-commerce, so they want to sell a product and move it out. The differences between the two, obviously, amazon.com sells just about everything, and Victoria's Secret sells apparel for women, focused on intimate apparel. That's about it. So talk to us, guys.
Well, here's the thing. At first glance, you would say, yeah, they want to sell product online, and they do want to sell product online. Yeah, absolutely. But Victoria's Secret, they're trying to do a lot more than that. They're trying to establish their brand. They're trying to position themselves, and they're trying to motivate people to be loyal customers of that brand. So their approach is very different, whereas Amazon's is trying to sell product and maintain relationships with their suppliers. And I'm sure that there's a lot of jockeying for position on Amazon.com amongst their suppliers because they really are a pure online retailer, just like a grocery store is an online provider of varieties of brands, many varieties of brands, and they all fight for shelf space. Amazon does the same thing online.
They want to be a platform. They want you to buy everything that you buy online at Amazon.
They want you to be a platform, absolutely. And the thing about Amazon that they're really good at is, and they've always been this way, they're leaders in their field, and they're just on top of what works. You can just see it. I've been watching Amazon since they first debuted, and you can just see how their sites become more usable, even though they're adding more and more products all the time to sell.
Well, talking about usability, why don't we compare the homepages of both of these websites?
Well, I think I'd like to start by saying if you are into e-commerce at all and you see Amazon trying something new, copy what they're doing because they do it right. They're the model.
They do, and they put a ton of resources into doing it right. If you look at the Amazon homepage, and there was a time when their navigation system was more cluttered. They used to have 20 to 25 different tabs on the top of their homepage. Right now they have 3 tabs. They have a very simple nav structure, and it's very much focused on that search box. Because the thing about Amazon is that they have such a strong online brand that people aren't necessarily going to browse. They can if they want, but they're not necessarily going to browse. They're going to go straight to that search box, and they're going to put something in there. They're going to put the name of a book or video or clothing or whatever and go straight there. And then, so that's what you notice immediately is the search box. If you look down, you'll see that they are promoting what they think are going to be their hot selling products, and they're rotating different products by suppliers. But right now on the homepage, they have what has been their best-selling book probably for years and years, which is a Harry Potter book. So there's a new Harry Potter book coming out, so that is taking up their most important part of real estate on the page. And then they've done a great job of having some very nice and clean categories that you can browse through. It says browse at the top. So it doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. You don't have to think too much to try to find something on Amazon. You're either going to put it in the search box, or you're going to browse on their nav system, or you're going to see stuff on their homepage that is very, very popular.
Two things they've done. Sorry, Glenn. Two things they've done well over the years is one is they have gotten really good at taking the things that you've bought in the past and creating recommendations around that. So when you have your cookies on and you visit your homepage, it really is a customized shopping page for you. And the second thing that I really admire about this site is that they've taken a very, very deep site. They don't get any deeper than this, and they've made it simple.
And they've also made some other things that are interesting as well. Is the thing that I like about Amazon is they say, well, other customers that purchased this, and that's on the back end, have purchased this item. And so you kind of go, oh, what else? I also notice on their homepage it says what other customers are looking at right now.
Have you noticed the other thing they're doing lately that when you're thinking about buying something, it'll say 73% of the people who viewed this page bought this product. 23% bought this product. So if you're comparison shopping for a camera or something like that, you get a pretty instant sense of whether you're looking at the right camera.
Well, you know, and the interesting thing is we talk about deep catalog. I scroll to the very bottom of the page, and they're selling saunas on Amazon now.
So I mean, they will say. I mean, if it can be sold online, it'll be sold through Amazon. They were the leaders in customizing a web page to your personal taste using technology, and they still do that very well. And you know, if I've several times gone to Amazon, seen something that they recommended, and said, "Oh yeah, that looks good," and purchased the book. You know, because I've purchased books on usability, and so when a new book on usability comes out, and there aren't many of them, they're going to show it to me right on the home page there.
In fact, I'm looking at one right now on search engine marketing.
Yeah, search engine marketing and formatting your manuscript. So it's a great way to sell. And Dennis is exactly right. There is mountains of information on this website, and what they've done is they've taken a lot of time to really understand what the users need to see on the home page, and then secondly to organize everything else so you can get to that mountain of info, but also see what they think is going to apply to you, whether they know you or not, whether they know who you are coming in or you know, your first time visitor.
Well, just looking at the page, it looks like there's well over 100 links as far as hyperlinks within the Amazon homepage to take you to just about anywhere. Now, if we look at the victoriassecret.com and go back over there, aside from the nav bar at the top, you really have the options of clicking on some of the photographs of the lovely women that are here.
Yeah, they're very much into the spring colors. You know, they're very seasonal in their approach to marketing and in what they sell. If you look at the Victoria's Secret homepage, there's really nothing that I think is going to grab you and put you into a sales funnel. Now, if you might be interested in the 2 for $40 special or the buy 2 and save 20%, you know, but I'm not sure. I mean, I think what most people are going to do on this site is go to that navigation system and begin looking for a product. Now, we have to think about how people generally shop on Victoria's Secret. And my thought is that more than likely they're going to come to this website with some kind of product in mind that they want, whether it's something they've already seen, already purchased, or you know, something that someone's going to buy for them as a gift or whatever it might be.
It's like if my wife was to ask me, Glenn, can you go ahead and buy me some panties from Victoria's Secret? Here's what I'm looking for. I'm going to think, okay, I'll go online and grab something.
Yeah, because I mean, how else would you, if you don't know the sizing of these products, there's a lot of challenges to buying this stuff online. And I guess when we look at Victoria's Secret, the thing to think about is how have they dealt with those challenges? How have they dealt with the challenges of buying this, you know, this apparel that has to be sized properly, and you know you can't try it on, and it has so many different options and colors and so forth. That would be the challenge. So the thing, once you get into the site, you do see a homepage that's laid out pretty well and is trying to focus on some sales and that sort of thing. But say you go to bras or panties and you click on a link and you get into the website, you really do see a completely different look. And the thing that struck me from a usability standpoint is how Victoria's Secret is asking you to know the names of these products and their unique brands. You know, for example, under bras, the first thing you see is VS Technology, Secret Embrace, IPEX, Infinity Edge. Well, what in the heck is that? I'm just trying to find, you know, a bra for my wife, or even if, you know, if your wife's looking, she's just trying to find, you know, a bra to replace the one she just had, that nice blue one that she had or whatever.
But of course, we're guys and we don't wear bras. At least most of us don't anyway. So
Speak for yourself, Glenn.
That's right. But we like to look at women in bras, that's for sure. But the thing about getting through this site is, you know, I would really recommend to Victoria's Secret that they look more at making the site a user-oriented site. And my instincts would tell me that people are not going to come to this site and look at a name like Second Skin Satin and say, yeah, I love it. Second Skin Satin. That's what I love. That's what I want. Probably not. They're probably going to be looking for that one bra or panty that they had purchased before.
Well, many websites are guilty of using their own jargon, and this is no exception to that.
Absolutely. So and you know, once you get into the actual products themselves, then you also run into some usability issues as well.
because if you're to look at the things, let's say if you went to the bras and we for VS Technology went to Secret Embrace. Once you went there, it pulls up the site, or excuse me, the next page, and it says the ultimate and seamless now in body by Victoria. Very, very sexy, and angels.
Yeah. So once you get into a product, then you're once again you see the photo, and you don't see more colors of that product, but you can scroll along and see different close-up photos of that color. But once again, the user's overwhelmed with a lot of different options.
Well, I really have a problem with this page. We're on an interior page where they're actually finally to the place where they can go buy a bra or a panty, and the navigation features a rollover, kind of like you see in the automotive websites, where you roll over and see different patterns of these materials. Then they have all these choices of menus down below, where we had to figure this out, where you select a particular style and a color and a size and a quantity. Then you go to the next line with no real indication that you're on a second line. So it's a very, very confusing user interface. And if you make any mistakes, if, for example, you select a product without selecting a size or a quantity, and you try to use the non-standard worded add to bag, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. So I've got a lot of problems with this interface for such a
There's a little phrase in here, and this is new because we were on this site a couple weeks ago getting ready for the podcast. They've added a little phrase that says "select more at a time." Select more at a time, and on some of the product pages, it doesn't say select more at a time. It just gives you more boxes to complete. And so for the average user, they're immediately going to be thrown off by that. What do I do? Why do I have more boxes here? I just want to get one pair. But what they're trying to do is allow you to buy multiple pairs and multiple colors and sizes.
While you're on that one page.
Yeah,
I really get the sense that they did not user test this site, because the opportunity for failure is huge on these pages.
Yeah, I would guess that they haven't tested, and they really can learn from Amazon in the idea of simplicity, speaking in the language of the user. I think it's just too much for the busy consumer, the busy woman who would buy this kind of product, to try to understand what the Miracle Bra is compared to the T-shirt bra, compared to the Emma collection, and on and on and on. So how can that be simplified? Now, one approach might be to have folks select by category names rather than by brand names, and give them the option to do that. It might be that Victoria's Secret doesn't want to do that. They just want to push their collection.
But one thing I do like on both of these sites is you can buy something without having to be a registered user, or you can be a registered user and get all the conveniences that come with that. And if you have an e-commerce site, I highly recommend that you let people buy without registering, because you lose a lot of people. And we've worked with clients and watched the statistics on that, and registration systems send people away.
Yeah, that is a good function. And once you do get into the shopping system for Victoria's Secret, it does ask you that. Do you want to register or do you not want to register? And it's pretty clear and easy to follow. There's just two options down at the bottom.
Yeah, the all the way out to the order is pretty clean on both of these sites.
There's links on Victoria's Secret that most users would have no clue what that is. Like there's a link at the far right that just says pink and looks like a picture of a dog. What in the world is that? No one's going to know what that is. So you click on it and let's see what it is here. It is a brand. It's a summer brand. Looks like maybe for teenagers. So once again, they're pushing the idea of, hey, you got to learn our brand.
And really, I get the sense that in order to use this site, they expect you to know the brands, and they expect you to really kind of be experts at using their difficult-to-use site. So
if you're not familiar with the Victoria's Secret brand, it's probably not the easiest site to navigate if you don't really know what you're looking for, or if you just say, hey, I need to buy a bra or a pair of panties or something like that for my significant other, and I'm lost.
Yeah, I haven't tried the search box. There is a search box that's on the far right, it's much better on the left, like you see with Amazon. But they do have a search box, and if you put in there, maybe if you have your underwear and you can look at the tag and see the name of it, perhaps it'll pull it up for you. But I'm not sure how well that works. We'll try it out here.
Well, I just typed in panties, and let's see if it's still thinking.
I found 30 pages of bras.
You typed in the word bra. So let's say, blue panties. Let's do a search on that here. 137 matches for blue panties. So You would be very I would bet that this is happening. I'm sure it's happening. There's a lot of people that come to Victoria's Secret that are ready to buy,
Oh, absolutely.
and they can't buy. It's overwhelming. There's too much information. They get lost. They can't figure out the cryptic nav system, and they might be able to look at a lot of product. They might even browse and see a lot of product, but it's not what they were looking for, and so they're off to something else.
Now we want to talk about graphics really quick here, because I know both have graphics that I feel are appropriate, in my opinion, as a user.
Well, here's an amazing thing about graphics. I'm glad you brought that up. There are no graphics on Amazon.com. I'm look at the site. The site has no graphics. It barely even has its own logo up there. The only thing it has is photos of the product. And since their focus has been traditionally books and videos, you see the cover of the book.
Right.
And when you look at a product page, you'll see a model in clothing, or you'll see the actual product. But there's no graphics on Amazon. What have they learned over time? They've learned that users get distracted or ignore graphics or make branding issues that throw them for a loop, so they don't use graphics.
Well,
We've
but
talked about that in the podcast.
Amazon also is going after the lowest common denominator. There are still people out there using a 56K modem.
That's true.
Now, those are
Absolutely.
few and far between. But however, in the worldwide marketplace, people still are on slow internet connections.
Well, what's happening with internet connections and e-commerce sites is that internet connections are starting to be shared more often. Dial-up is going away. You won't see much dial-up anymore, but you'll see is shared connections, especially in hotels or apartments, or even in communities where people have to share a cable. And that's where the bandwidth is going to get tied up. You could be on a high-speed connection and be as slow as dial-up because you're sharing it with 10 other people.
And if your e-commerce site doesn't load immediately, you're going to lose interest. That consumer that's on your site is going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else.
And if you're, I was recently on vacation. We stayed in a high-rise condo, and in the high-rise condo, there's probably 50, 60 units, maybe more. And my connection was so slow that I really didn't get online that much. It was much slower than dial-up, and it's because it's all shared. So late, around 11 p.m. or so, I could get on and check email, and it would actually load the email. So Amazon is on top of that. They also are using a real interesting pop-up technique that we haven't actually seen on many other sites, and I'm sure this passed usability tests. And that is, if you scroll over what they think is an important link, it immediately pops up and gives you categories. Like if you scroll over the tab that says "See all 40 product categories,"
Right.
you see them.
On
Pulls all of them
a
up.
mouse over, not a mouse click.
That's right. And then from there, you can go to, say, audio and video and see see the page for audio and video.
So they took what used to be a lot of tabs and they replaced it with that one button.
They did, and it's because they've learned what we've been saying all along. Fewer clicks means you're thinking less. If you're thinking less, you're more likely to buy and stay on the website.
Right.
So that it's interesting to see that even Victoria's Secrets is very light on graphics, especially on interior pages. You would think a company that is so into brand and image would load up with graphics and banners and things, but no, what you see is women in the product.
Yeah, but that is their brand. Whenever you see the supermodels hanging out in poses, you think Victoria's Secret.
That's right, and
And
that works
so,
well.
So what they're doing is if you want to say that they're branding via their models, yeah, that's kind of what they're doing as well.
And if you talk about the use of photos on a website, you're probably not going to see much stronger use of photos on a website than Victoria's Secrets. Because everybody, nobody looks like these women. These women have all been photoshopped. They don't even look like what you see here, but women want to look like that. And husbands and boyfriends want their girlfriends and wives to look like that. So that's why the site works.
So let's, the navigation structures, I think we went over that as far as how that works. Let's look at the content and path to conversion, because obviously both of these, the conversion is going to result into a sale.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we found what we want on Victoria's Secret. We found what we wanted on Amazon. Let's look at the differences between the two when we go to check out.
Well, one thing I noticed on Amazon, we talk about when you're at a website, can you feel yourself being drawn into a funnel? Amazon is all about the funnel. The minute you get there, and like Tom said with the graphics, you are just being drawn into these products deeper and deeper. And it doesn't take you many clicks to be looking at products. One thing I didn't like about Victoria's Secret was that you have to get 2 or 3 clicks deep before you're actually looking at a bra or a panty. And so you have to get through all these category pages. Amazon doesn't make you do that. Amazon takes you zooming straight into the products that you want to look at.
They do such a good job of that. They classify products so well that as you start to shop, you see everything organized well. When you finally get to the product page, you see this beautiful page. I mean, it's really a great page because you see the product there in a photo. If you scroll down, you get so much information, product descriptions. You get accessories and service plans, customers who also bought the product. I mean, on and on and on. Spotlight reviews, and 101 people found this helpful, and so forth. I mean, on and on and on. But the magic in Amazon is that there is one button you click when you're ready to buy,
Yep.
and you can add to shopping cart, and because of the way they've done the colors, it stands out very easily. Once you have it in the shopping cart, you can use one-click technology that just allows you to click once, and boom, you've bought it. Proceeding to checkout is very straightforward. They send you some accessories or some add-on items just before you get to the checkout page. It's all thought out really well. Victoria's Secret, on the other hand, has that invisible shopping bag. So you click on it, add to bag, and then you go back and try to continue shopping. I would bet that Victoria's Secret has a very high dropout rate of people that add things in their bags and drop them out, whereas Amazon is much stronger there because by the time you've actually proceeded to checkout, you've been through a lot of information, a lot of pages, and you had to think through this buying process.
And just in terms of design, Victoria's Secret's using this 8-9 point type for really major buttons and categories. Amazon is using big, easy to read type. Everything is blue and linking text. It is so obvious where to click and what to click.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
that's really important when you try to check out and you want that information. It's like, what do I do next?
And Amazon has as you get into the process, they have a very simple graphic at the top that shows you where you are, sign in, shipping and payment, gift wrap, and so forth. And there's just nothing else on the page to distract you. Just similar to Google. Google is super popular because of its simplicity. Amazon does the same thing. Victoria's Secret can learn from that.
Everybody can learn from Amazon.
Yeah, that's true.
No, they've got it. They've got it dialed in. They've definitely have it really simple. And then they have the offers for Amazon Prime and all the other little things that you can join where you get the discounts. And
Sure.
once again, the one click, if you do a lot of if you do a lot of purchases on Amazon, it's very simple to get hooked up. To just click once, boom, you're done. Your order is simplified.
That's
and
true.
It'll show up at your house. Well, I think we've seen a lot of them. We obviously, from a guy's standpoint, it's always interesting to look at Victoria's Secret.
That's
Always
why
exciting.
I picked that one. I thought that would be popular.
And I want to commend us all on not making very many sophomore jokes as we were looking at the Victoria's Secret website.
That's true.
Yes, that is definitely appropriate. But we can definitely see that almost anybody can learn from Amazon, and the simplicity of it, especially in an e-commerce site. We can always obviously enjoy the beauty of the Victoria's Secret website, but as far as converting it to a sale from a guy, all I can say is you better know your product and what you're looking for if you're going to order something.
Yeah, not browsing isn't going to get you anywhere.
We end each podcast with an action item plan. So, guys, what are the key action items for our listeners?
User test, user test, user test. Victoria's Secret cannot have user tested that really, really important page.
Absolutely. I don't think they've really done the user testing, or they've done it and they've decided they're going to stick with their let's push the brand down you approach. Well, I think obviously, and we said this earlier, you can learn from Amazon. If you're selling online, you want to do as much as you can as what Amazon does. The great product pages, the great organization of content, and so forth. Do the best you can to copy them, and also realizing that the need for simplicity is probably more important in e-commerce than on any other type of web page, just because you have to have that clear sales funnel and that clear path to conversion, or you're just going to lose people. They're going to leave their shopping carts and they're not going to buy from you. I think what we can see from Victoria's Secret is just how a complex site will muddle that up, make it more difficult to convert, where a simple, straightforward site like Amazon will lead to more conversions.
And when you're researching shopping cart software, get the good stuff. Get the shopping cart software that can do all the kind of stuff that Amazon does. None of it can, but as much as possible. And don't buy an inexpensive shopping cart thinking you're saving money, because you're not in the long run at all.
So you heard it, listeners. Make sure if you find a website that you really, really like, that you enjoy, that's easy to navigate, That's the type of structure you want for your website. Well, this has been an Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast, and for more information and to see all the available podcasts and much more, visit intuitivewebsites.com.